The following podcast contains mature subject matter, adult themes, and may also contain profanity. You have been warned.
Hey everyone, welcome back to The Absurd, a podcast of things absurd, histories, mysteries, and strange goings-on, stories that are funny, freaky, and even frightening. We actually have a frightening story today, don't we, Mel?
Well, it's something.
That's Mel. Hi, Mel.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. How are things? You had a good day at work today?
Yeah, there was lots of food.
Was there?
You know, it's that time of year where people bring in snacks all the
God.
time. And
Were there any donuts?
yes.
Really?
Yes. Lady Glaze was there giving out free donuts.
I'm sorry, but
What?
every time I've been there, I haven't only been there once, and that's like about 2 weeks after they opened.
Yeah.
But it might be my favorite name of any business
Lady
ever.
Glaze.
Yeah, I don't even want to get into it, but I like it. You
Yeah,
know?
it was good.
No,
it's
they
good.
have good donuts.
I mean, I'm not a big donut lover, but, you know.
We're not that big at all,
What? Thanks.
really. You know, I love donuts. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It was a nice treat.
If it was socially acceptable, I would marry a donut.
Would you know?
Mm-hmm. Of course, the whole thing would be over within 5 minutes, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Anyways.
No, I meant like, oh God. Yeah, Anyway, let's pause for a second. Yeah, so there was plenty of food, eh?
Yes, lots of food, lots of treats.
Is awesome.
Pizza for lunch.
Ooh, nice.
I know.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too horrible out today, huh?
No, it was all right.
Yesterday was
milder.
worse. Yesterday was worse,
Was it?
wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember. That was yesterday.
I didn't even know if I went outside yesterday.
I don't think I did either, actually.
I kind of like doing that. You know? I just imagine no, never mind. You take that out of there.
Okay.
I was going to go off on a tangent and nothing like unseemly, but
okay.
I just couldn't get into it.
All right. That's fine.
Hey, Mel,
Hey.
you have a big announcement for our listeners,
Well, we've
don't
got
you?
something to share.
Share it.
We are going to be doing another giveaway.
A big contest with a prize.
Yay.
Ooh, yeah.
We're going to be giving away some swag.
Swag.
We have some new swag. I don't know if you've seen it.
I like swag.
We've had some of it in our videos and pictures
Mhm.
recently, but yeah, we're going to give some stuff away.
And even on our person.
Even on our person.
But what you'll win is something new. Like you won't win something that we wore.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that.
Be creepy. What are we, OnlyFans?
Yeah. You got to pay extra for that.
Yeah. So anyway,
But yeah, you're going to have to answer a skill testing question.
yes.
And
we
what is that question?
Well, the question is, you have to tell us your favorite story that we have covered on the show. And that's from day one till now.
Yep.
Or even next week. Because it doesn't have to be till now.
That's right.
So today's the 11th. What
Yeah.
should we say? Should we give them till what date to enter?
Well,
And how are they going to enter, Mel?
well, we're going to put a post up on Instagram and Facebook.
Sure are.
And we'll kind of show you what you can win. And you're going to have to like it and share it. And then, like I said, like Rod said, answer the question about what your favorite story is. And if you tag some people, you'll get some bonus entries.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And we would appreciate if you tag people who aren't already listening to the show. Like, you
Yeah.
know, we appreciate any and all efforts.
Someone
but
tags Rod.
yeah, I'm aware of the show. You know, I'm not aware of a great deal anymore, but I am aware of it.
Yeah. But yeah, so look for that in the next few days.
Yeah, heck yeah.
It'll be a fun little Christmas gift.
Hopefully. Yeah. I also want to give a bit of a shout out to one of our most fervent and dedicated listeners. That is Monsieur Scott Mitchell, who posted on our Facebook saying that he listens to a great many podcasts. I know he does because we've talked about other podcasts in the past. And he said how our show has made it into his top 5, as in most played.
Yay. That's awesome.
It is awesome. I'm
That's
pretty
great.
pleased about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so anything exciting and new?
No,
Me
just hockey.
I made chili.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Spicy chili?
Mm-hmm.
Do you put beans in your chili?
Of course I do.
Okay.
Don't you?
No,
What?
I don't really like beans.
What?
Yeah.
That's weird because somebody posted, do you put beans? Do you actually put beans in chili? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, some
I'm
people
not
do,
a
some people don't.
Satanist. But I think even Satanists put beans in their chili.
You think so?
Yeah, of course
Okay.
I do. I put white beans, beans and tomato sauce,
Mm-hmm.
Standard issue beans.
Mm-hmm.
Then black beans
Mm-hmm.
and red kidney beans. And of course I rinsed and washed the latter too.
Right.
And then ground beef, ground pork, onions, bell peppers, chili powder, onion, which made me cry when I cut it, and that never happens. And it wasn't because I felt sorry for the onion.
No.
Like, it was literally a physiological response.
Wow.
And then I put 3 ghost peppers and 1 Carolina Reaper.
Look at you.
Yeah. It was awesome. I was a little worried it was going to be too hot, but I had some for lunch today with a big soft Kaiser bun rubbed with garlic butter and toasted.
You rubbed it
I rubbed
with
it
garlic butter. Wow.
lovingly into every nook and
Rubbed your
cranny.
buns. All right.
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. But yeah, no, I love it. So
Good.
I'll eat it for the next few days, but it's also good like on tortilla chips,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or on fries.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll freeze whatever's left over.
Sounds
Be
lovely.
a good time.
Sounds
Good
amazing.
time. So yeah, I think it's speaking of time. I think it's
Yeah.
story
Let's
time.
get into it.
I have a story.
Do ya?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. This happened kind of just down the street, in a way, like
In
in
a way?
Toronto or Toronto. If you're
Toronto.
if you're from Southern Ontario,
Right.
you can always tell when somebody is like not from here when they go Toronto. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that's not how you say it.
No.
It's Toronto.
Toronto.
Right.
It's like when people say Newfoundland.
Right.
No. Stop
Newfoundland
it. Newfoundland.
and Labrador.
No.
Labrador always gets the short end
Yeah,
of
they
the
do.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a story here, all right? You ready? Here we go. Gary Hoy was a 39-year-old corporate and securities law specialist for the law firm of Holden Day Wilson in Toronto at the time of this incident in 1993. Going back. While giving a tour of the Toronto Dominion Centre, which, outside of the CN Tower, is the tallest building.
Right.
Oh, is it? No, I'm thinking of Bank of Montreal building.
Oh, right. Yes.
I don't remember which one this is,
Yeah.
but it's tall. Whew, you don't even know.
One of the tallest ones. There
Yeah.
you go.
So while he was giving a tour of the Toronto Dominion Centre to a group of articling students, he attempted to demonstrate the strength of the structure's window glass by slamming himself into one of the windows. He had apparently performed the stunt many times in the past, having previously bounced harmlessly off the glass. After one attempt, which saw the glass hold up, Hoy tried once more.
Oh, no.
In this instance, the force of Hoy slamming into the window removed the window from its frame, causing the entire intact window and Hoy
Oh, no.
to fall from the 24th floor. This occurred in a small conference room adjacent to a boardroom where a reception was being held for new articling students. Wonder if they had donuts. Structural engineer Bob Greer was quoted by the Toronto Star at the time as saying, "I don't know of any building code in the world that would allow a 73-kilogram, 160-pound man to run up against a glass and withstand it." In another interview, the firm's spokesman mentioned that the glass in fact did not break, but popped out of its frame, leading to Hoy's fatal plunge. Hoy's death contributed to the closing of Holden Day Wilson, whom he worked for, in 1996, which at the time was the largest law firm closure in Canada.
What would possess you to do such a thing, Rod?
Arrogance, ego. I would not do it.
I know.
Like, I'm not bothered by heights when I feel on stable footing.
Right.
You know, like climbing extension ladder, I ain't big on it.
No.
Matter of fact, I really hate it.
Yeah.
Being up a CN tower doesn't bother me.
Right.
Right. Because I know it's not going to fall over.
Right.
Right. I'm not going to
Can you
fall.
stand on the glass?
With a little bit of mental coaxing.
Yeah.
I can.
Right.
I have to allow the logical part of my brain to take over from the lizard part of my brain.
That's right.
And say, dude, it's glass.
Yeah.
You could be an elephant walking on this, and you're not going to fall through.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But would I, am I going for the CN tower, like up to the observation deck, and throwing myself against the fencing?
Yeah.
That stops you from jumping over? No.
No.
No, I'm good.
Absolutely not.
I'm pretty sure I couldn't knock my way through it, but I ain't putting it to the acid test.
No.
Hell with that.
Like,
I'm not saying the guy deserved it or anything.
Well,
he didn't deserve to die. But
he's done this before, right? Is that what you said? He had done it a few times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And successfully. So he was obviously showing off.
Yeah.
Right? But honestly, to be honest, if I was like, if I had my life to do over again, I would become a lawyer.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was, if I was a articling student and I was at a law firm or anything kind of professional, and one of the upper management types starts throwing himself against the window, I'm going to be like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Should I be here?
Should I be doing this?
Yeah, like, is it, I don't know, too late to become a dog catcher or something cool? You know what I mean? Well, I don't really want to be a dog catcher. I'd let them all go. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude, he took a bit of a spill.
Apparently.
I'd be more pissed off if I was walking down below, or I was in 1993. I was, up to my neck in nicotine addiction. So I'd have, if I'd have been there, I'd have been down front smoking. And all of a sudden, this big piece of glass, which was probably like, I don't know, 8 feet high.
Right, at least.
Comes smoking down.
Yeah.
Even if it didn't hit me, I'm sure I would have soiled myself.
Not to mention the trauma from that.
From the dude coming right behind it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would suck.
Man. Or like the people in the conference room that were witnessing this whole thing. Like, what is he doing? Like, hey guys, look what I can do.
Yeah, once is enough, dude. I wonder if they're all like, do we have to stay for the rest of the day?
Does this mean we can go home now?
Yeah, man. So, yeah, that's what went down.
Wow. That's
that day.
Yeah, no.
Hey, I think you have something that's rather
This one's heavy.
Right.
This one's heavy. So if, anyone is bothered by topics of SA.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sexual assault.
Yes. Then, maybe just skip past it a little bit.
Can I please
just be warned.
Use my horse noise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Do the horse.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so what do you got for us, Mel?
So this story, I've heard about it from a movie. Mm-hmm. It's called The Girl in the Basement.
Sounds uplifting.
So you can kind of hear how blah, 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 blah.
Well said.
You can kind of tell where this is leading. So I went looking it up because I was curious about how much of the movie is true.
Sure.
And I mean, a good portion is. So if you want to know more about it, you can watch it. And it's tough to watch at times, for sure.
No doubt.
So anyway, so his name is Joseph Fritzl. The Fritzl case emerged in 2008 when a woman named Elizabeth Fritzl, born April 6, 1966, informed investigators in the city of Amstetten, Lower Austria, that she had been held captive for 24 years by her father. Ugh. Joseph Fritzl, born April 9th, 1935. Fritzl had assaulted his daughter countless times during her imprisonment inside a concealed area in the cellar of the family home. Joseph Fritzl was labeled as a nice man and had a nice family.
Of course he was.
Joseph was an electrical engineer, and in 1956, age 21, he married 17-year-old Rosemary, with whom they had 3 sons and 4 daughters.
Wow.
In 1967, Fritzl broke into a woman's home, and I'm just going to keep saying S.A.
Sure.
So I don't have to say
fine.
it.
That's fine.
And S.A.'d her while he was holding a knife to her throat, threatening to kill her if she screamed. In 1967, he also was named as a suspect in a case of attempted S.A. of a 21-year-old. So he's had some troubling past.
Yeah, kind of.
He was arrested on those and served 12 months of an 18-month prison sentence. Which just blows my mind. But anyways.
Which part? The fact that he was released 2/3 in, or that he only got 18 months in the
Both.
first place? Yeah, right.
Both.
Yeah.
He was also a suspect in 2 separate occurrences of murder, but he was not charged of those murders due to lack of evidence.
Sure.
So that's a bit of his background. So on August 28th, 1984, after Elizabeth had turned 18, Fritzl lured her into the basement of the family home.
Hey, she's the same age as I am. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
sorry.
There you go. Saying that he needed help carrying a door. In reality, he had been converting the basement into a makeshift prison chamber. The door was the last thing he needed to seal it. So, as any good person would do, he got the help of her to come put this door in place. And while they were putting it into place, he held an ether-soaked towel on her face until she was unconscious, then threw her into the chamber.
God.
After Elizabeth's disappearance, Rosemary, the mom, filed a missing persons report. Almost a month later, Fritzl handed over a letter to the police, the first of several, that he had forced Elizabeth to write while she was in captivity. The letter stated that she was tired of living with her family and was staying with a friend. She warned her parents not to look out for her, or she would leave the country. Fritzl told police that she had most likely joined a cult. Because why? What else would you do if you left home?
Who
You might
hasn't
as
been
well.
in a cult?
That's right.
You know, I'm looking for a new one right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
The cellar is reached between not 1, not 2, but 8 locked doors.
Holy, how big is this place?
So I looked into it a bit more because I was like, how the heck is this?
Of course.
So their house is part of a series of houses or buildings.
Like row houses, sort of?
Yes, kind of, but it looked more commercial.
Okay.
It was kind of a weird picture that I saw.
Okay.
So it almost looked like, you get a house connected to a store.
Okay.
So he bought the 2 adjacent
Oh, I see.
buildings, and there was already part of a panic room that was built downstairs. So he just built upon this. So he's been planning this out for quite some time. This wasn't just an idea he had.
No, clearly.
So it had a kitchen, a bathroom, and a living area with 1 bedroom and 2 beds. It was very dark and cramped, airless, and no windows. The environment was only 6 feet high at its highest point. With everyday living, personal hygiene kept the humidity very high down there. For the first 4 years, Elizabeth was alone in that cellar, except for when her father came down to visit her.
Mm-hmm.
Over the next 20 years, she had 7 of his children,
Ugh.
all born in the cellar. One of her children, Michael, died soon after birth and was incinerated by Fritzl at the house. Of the 6 remaining children, 3 were chosen to live upstairs. We still don't know why, but anyways. The others were condemned to life in the dungeon. Elizabeth tried to give them as normal of a life as possible. They were very polite and very well educated.
Wait. Just tell me to shut up if
Yep.
I'm jumping ahead and if you're going to answer this yet.
Yep.
How did he explain to his wife, Rosemary, these 3 children?
I will explain that.
So you are telling me to shut up.
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
So, Joseph never explained why he chose to take the 3 children to live upstairs. Each one was taken shortly after birth and placed on the front doorstep.
Oh.
Fritzl told his wife that their runaway child had simply dumped them in the dead of night with a note, so Joseph and Rosemary adopted them as their own.
What, the 7 they already had weren't enough somehow?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
In accordance with Austrian law, Fritzl's criminal record was expunged after 15 years.
Whoa.
As a result, more than 25 years later, The local social service authorities did not discover his criminal history when he applied to adopt and or foster Elizabeth's children.
Right.
Yeah. So then you wonder, how did Mom not know about this?
Right.
Well, apparently there was probably some other abuse going on there or something, because I don't know how someone would get away with that. But he was telling everyone that he was drawing plans for machines, which he sold to manufacturing firms. So it was like top secret. So she couldn't go down there. She couldn't even come down to bring him a coffee.
Sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
Or donut.
And apparently, or donut. And apparently a tenant was renting the ground floor room of the house for 12 years. And he claimed that he heard noises from the basement. But Fritzl just said they were caused by faulty pipes or the gas heating system.
Right.
So, but Elizabeth, she looked after these children and she made a daily school routine. And apparently they came at it when they finally were released or escaped, They were very well educated children.
Cool. Good for her.
So she taught them how to read, write, everything. Like
Well
they're
done.
very well mannered.
Well done.
So how did she get out?
Yeah.
On April 19th, 2008, Elizabeth's eldest daughter became extremely ill. Fritzl agreed to help seek medical attention for Kirsten, the daughter's name, when she lost consciousness.
Holy.
Elizabeth helped him carry Kirsten out to the chamber and saw the outside world for the first time in 24 years.
Wow.
He forced Elizabeth to return to the chamber where she remained for a final week. Kirsten was taken by ambulance to a local hospital and was admitted in serious condition with life-threatening kidney failure. The young girl was as white as a sheet from severe vitamin D deficiency from a total lack of sunlight.
Sure.
Avi. Fritzl later arrived at the hospital claiming to have found a note written by Kirsten's mother. Medical staff found aspects of Fritzl's story puzzling and alerted police. The police broadcast an appeal to public media for the missing mother to come forward and provide information about Kirsten's medical history. The investigation into Elizabeth's disappearance was also reopened. Elizabeth pleaded with Fritzl to be taken to the hospital where Kirsten was being treated. On April 26th, he released her from the cellar along with her sons. Sorry.
All right.
iPad locked.
Tablet.
Oh my God. Okay. On April 26th, he released her from the cellar along with her sons Stefan and Felix, bringing them upstairs, at which time he sent Elizabeth to the hospital. At the hospital, the police first suspected her of being an abusive mother, but finally 27 years of horror came bursting out. They didn't believe her at first because it was such an amazing, unreal story.
Sure.
Over the next 2 hours, she told them the whole story about the 24 years of captivity and what her father had done to her and forced her to do in front of her children. We don't need to go into all those details.
I'm good.
So obviously, he was now 73 years old. He was quickly arrested on suspicion of serious crimes against family members. The sad irony is that after all of these years being locked in a cellar, these poor children were locked away in a psychiatric hospital under heavy guard. Elizabeth was 42 when she was released, and she's been living in that dungeon since she was 18 years old. Her imprisoned children have never felt rain on their skin, walked in the grass, or even smelled flowers. Joseph is deluded and still sees no harm in what he's done. He's now 89 years old and serving a life sentence in a prison unit for the mentally abnormal since his conviction of 2009 for incest, rape, enslavement, coercion, and the murder of neglect of one of his children.
Enslavement.
Yeah.
I like that charge.
So he's that's where he is. He's still there.
Yeah, I don't imagine he's getting out.
They might be moving him to a regular prison due to his progressive dementia and physical frailty. But
wait a second. So he's in a institution, for want of a better word, an asylum for the criminally insane.
Right.
And now that he has dementia, they're going to move him to a regular prison?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because they don't feel he'll be as much of a harm now.
To whom?
Yeah, I know.
Guy's 89.
89, it doesn't matter anymore.
No, true. That's weird, though.
So I looked up kind of where she's at. She's living a quote-unquote normal life.
Such as it is.
Obviously, different name.
Well, of course.
It's, it doesn't say where she is now, but apparently she's living a normal life like anybody else, and her kids have learned to adapt. And
hopefully she can not salvage, but
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, have some form of a life after all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how you do, but anyways.
And I'm sitting here thinking about this question, and I'm debating whether I'm going to ask it. I'm going to ask it, and then if I decide I don't want to leave it in here, I'll take it out.
All right.
Like, I've never understood how men can see anything in their daughters.
Yeah. I don't.
Like, granted, I don't have a daughter.
Right.
But
Right.
I'm going to assume
Right.
that, like, I'll liken it to this. I've got first cousins,
Yeah.
right, who are female,
Yeah.
obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, if I really think about it,
Yeah.
are attractive.
Sure.
But I've never thought about them as being attractive.
Right.
Because the
Right.
idea of anything sexual is like
Not even
not
a
there.
thought.
Well, it's
not even a
no,
thought.
it doesn't exist.
Especially like, being a parent, you're going to do whatever you need to do to protect your children.
Right.
And that's the part I don't understand.
And I'm not even talking, though, about, like, necessarily, like essaying the girl.
Right.
I just mean even finding them, like, not, you can recognize that your child is attractive.
Sure. Sure.
That's fine.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
but when you find them attractive.
Yeah. That's where the problem
then you're
comes
like,
in.
whoa,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no.
Not to mention it being a child.
Well, let's
And
back
that
away-
too, right?
Let's back away from that for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's revolting on every level.
Yes.
But I just mean, even if they're like 18,
Yeah.
right? They're most anywhere in the world they can get married. They can
Yeah.
have sex, obviously. They can have children.
Yep.
I don't care if they're 38. The fact that if you're their father and you find them physically like alluring, man,
Yeah.
there's gotta be something wrong with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's all levels of messed up.
Yeah, well, and not to mention the rest of it.
Yeah.
Like, the rest of it is just outright lascivious and horrid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So there's clearly a history there with her too. So obviously it wasn't just a, hey, you know what I'm gonna do?
No,
right?
and clearly this guy, he had, it was clinically something wrong.
Yeah.
Because he did, he attacked those two women.
Yeah.
When Elizabeth was only 1 year old.
Yeah.
And maybe murdered somebody. We don't know that, though.
We don't know.
And it never did
We don't know.
suggest that he murdered the one child who died, did he?
No, it just said the baby just didn't live.
Right.
So he's
Which
like,
happens.
Well,
You know.
I'll just get rid of that.
Well,
Right?
yeah,
Like,
I mean,
throw
I
it
don't,
out with the trash like everything else.
I don't
right?
really
Like,
fault
just-
him for that. I mean, that's the least of his crimes.
Well,
You know,
yes.
because if the baby died of its own, not of its own accord, like, hey,
Right.
I'm gonna die, I'm out
Yeah.
here.
Well, you are being born in a cellar
sure.
with no medical attention at all.
But shit,
It's amazing that it was only one, to be honest with you.
well, newborns die in delivery rooms.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
generally not if everything else is peachy.
Right.
But we don't know that was the case here. She could have had a tough pregnancy.
Yeah.
Or could she not?
Ugh.
Yeah, so that's not entirely awesome, but a
No.
good story.
It's an interesting one. So yeah, if you want to know more about it, you can watch the movie based on it, Girl in the Basement.
Well, and I think for one of our little infographic thingies that I put together, I'm going to do that one. I might show a picture of, like, the house, the building you described.
Yeah, there was one documentary I watched on it, and they showed sort of a CG video of what it looked like to get to that cellar.
Cool.
So it was kind of neat to see that. Neat and terrifying all at the same time. but
Yeah.
Anyways.
Good one.
Yeah.
I like it. I hope nobody was too upset, but, you
No,
know,
it's
the world's a scary place.
sure is.
It's also a really pretty place, though, too.
Well, it can be.
A lot of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got? Can you lift us up a little bit, or?
Well, it's funny you say that. This is about Philippine Airlines Flight 812.
Lift us up. I get it now.
Actually, I wasn't even thinking of that. You just stand by. This was a scheduled domestic passenger flight from Francisco Bango International Airport in Davao City to Nino Aquino International Airport near Manila. This happened on May 25th, 2000. An Airbus 330, good-looking plane. operating on the route was hijacked by a man later identified as Reginald Chua just before the airplane was about to land. The flight carried 278 passengers and 13 crew members. The hijacker, Reginald Chua, was armed with a gun and a hand grenade. Where the hell does anyone get a hand grenade?
I know. Just pick one up at your local Hasty Mart.
Dollar Tree. They don't sell hand grenades, do they?
Yeah.
He fired a gun into a bulkhead and demanded to be let into the cockpit. Okay, firing a gun in an airplane is a really bad idea,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
right? Because if it takes out the
Very
window,
bad. Gone. You're all gone.
depressurizing. Right.
Yep.
Here's a correction, though, I'm going to say. People always say you get sucked out of the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get blown out of the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to correct that. So he wanted to get into the cockpit, and when access was refused, he then demanded the passengers place their valuables in a bag before he commanded the pilot to descend and depressurize the aircraft so that he could escape by using a homemade parachute.
Oh, that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Yeah, those are two words that don't go together real well.
Homemade parachute.
Yeah, you know.
Wow.
It's like tabletop heart surgery. You know? Since it did not have a ripcord, one was made with a curtain sash on the aircraft. Of course it was. Why wouldn't you? Before he was about to jump, he was not able to overcome the gust of wind from the plane's open rear door, and a flight attendant helped him jump out of the plane. The hijacker was wearing a ski mask and swimming goggles when he jumped out of the plane together with the valuables he had stolen while the plane was flying at an altitude of 1,800 meters, 5,900 feet. Officials initially identified him as Augusto Lancandula, based on the name on the ticket. The pilot expressed skepticism that the hijacker would have survived such a jump. 3 days after the hijacker was found dead, his body nearly buried in the mud, about 73 kilometers southeast of Manila. Police authorities stated that he died since he was unable to get his parachute to open.
Shocker.
Through his driver's license, Lacandula was finally correctly identified as Reginald Chua, who reportedly lost his job as a security guard and suffered financial difficulties. Mental health was also a significant focus.
Right.
Now, I can feel for the guy.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
yeah.
I think all of us, if you put it this way, if you've never suffered financial difficulties,
It sucks.
I probably don't like you because you're too lucky or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm certainly not going to condone or defend robbing, and certainly not hijacking a plane.
No, especially when it can affect other people.
Well, that's just it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Philippines probably doesn't have a brilliant social safety net.
Right.
Maybe they do.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you're going to lose your house and, you know, you're going to end up living on the street, like we use that as an expression, but
right.
Man, that would suck.
Yes, it absolutely
Hardcore
would.
suck.
Yeah, it would.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, there but for the grace of Doug.
Right.
You know, like.
Yep.
But again, I will say, if you can get a hand grenade,
If you.
get a fucking parachute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I wonder if this tablecloth is big enough to work. If you need money, what?
But if you need money, why would that be your go-to? You know what I'm going to do?
I don't know. It didn't say where he was a security officer. Maybe he was a security officer at the airport.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But I don't know. If you're going to rob somebody or anybody, I'm not sure I do it going on an airplane and then jumping out.
Yeah, like, I know. If I go on this Caravel cruise lines and then I rob the ship and I just jump overboard, somebody will find me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no.
Sharks.
I wouldn't. I'd do the jumping out of an airplane before I do that.
Yeah.
Damn right.
That'd be terrifying.
Damn right.
It gives me shivers thinking about it.
Shiver, shiver, little mouse. Yeah, so that's the Philippines.
Wow, that's...
Yeah, poor bugger.
I mean... Sucks,
buried in the
but,
mud, too.
I mean,
Hopefully he died, like, on impact.
I would assume.
Well, it's mud. Like, if he penetrated the mud and was stuck in there, that would suck. I wouldn't really wish that on him.
No.
You know? But anyway.
Huh.
It's all water under the bridge now.
All water under the bridge.
Water under the fridge, as Ricky
right.
says. You got a... Oh, my God. You got a story for us?
I do.
Let's have it.
Yeah, this was not as heavy.
Well, how could it be?
We're going to go back to Florida, because
Why wouldn't you?
why not?
Right.
2 Florida inmates have redefined the boundaries of connection and defeat the odds to welcome a child into the world, despite never meeting face to face.
Okay.
Let that ponder for a minute.
I'm pondering.
Daisy Link. What
Ooh,
a
that's
great
good
name.
L-I-N-K?
Yeah.
Sweet.
29. Sounds like a porn name or something. And Joanne Deepaz.
Oh, they're both women?
No, but that's how it's pronounced. I looked it up.
Oh.
It's
weird.
like Johan.
Oh,
Johan.
Johan. How do you spell it?
Well, it's spelled like Joan.
Uh,
So when I looked it up, it pronounced it as Johan.
weird.
So
no
anyways.
H, though?
Deepaz.
I don't like it.
They engineered an unconventional path to parenthood through a prison air vent.
Go on.
Daisy and Johan were inmates at the Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center in Miami-Dade County, Florida, when their improbable journey began. Both were held in isolation, facing charges of murder, and separated by floors within the facility. Yet loneliness and desperation found an outlet through the air vents of their cells, where they began to communicate. You knock on the vent and you can hear people on different floors, Link explained. Being in isolation for so long, you start talking for hours, and it feels like you're in the same room. Over time, their conversations evolved into a romantic connection. Deepaz shared his longing to become a parent, a dream he thought was unattainable given his circumstances. I always wanted to have a baby, he said, and I told her, if I had to choose somebody, it would be you. She was like, yeah, we could do that. The couple hatched a plan to make the impossible happen.
Good one.
Using bedding material, they created a makeshift line between their cells. Deepaz began sending packages containing his semen, wrapped in saran wrap, through the air vents.
Okay.
He described the process as meticulous. I put the semen in saran wrap every day, like 5 times a day, for a month straight. Link, on her part, used yeast infection applicators to administer the samples. Despite the inherent challenges and low success rates of such an unconventional method, their determination paid off.
Do you think he yelled, like, when he put the packages, like, on the bedding?
Are
Like,
coming?
it's coming? Another one coming?
Maybe.
Maybe. Some determined little
I don't
swimmers.
know, right? Well,
Yeah.
you got nothing else to do. You might as well.
Well,
After a few attempts, Link became pregnant.
wow.
She's a miracle baby, Link said of her daughter, who was born on June 19th at Jackson Memorial Hospital. I think everything happened for a reason. This story has captured public fascination, not least because of its biological improbability. Dr. Fernando Ackerman, a specialty...
Fernando Ackerman?
Ackerman.
That's awesome.
Yeah. A fertility specialist at the Fertility Center of Miami explained that while the chances of pregnancy under such circumstances are slim, they are not impossible. We estimate their chances were less than 5%, Ackerman said. This is exceedingly unusual. To my knowledge, I've never heard or read anything like this. The baby girl described by both parents is a blessing of now being but is now being raised by Deepaz's mother. Here you go, Mom. Take my baby.
Wow.
So yeah, they pass some spermage down through the air vents.
So this Daisy, like, did it say what either of them are in for or how
Murder.
long?
It said for murder. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Let me double check that again, but
Like her too? Daisy, Daisy.
Sorry, I can try to find. Yeah, they're facing charges of murder.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, right. Okay. Not really cool. Well, the murdering's totally not cool.
Yeah, so like who knows how long they'll be in prison? It doesn't say that. It just
Yeah, I'm gonna bet that duct is now like not sealed up because that would be a problem, but probably full of spermicide.
yeah.
You know, so nothing else happens. Hose that bugger down.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I mean, it's kind of a genius way to get pregnant, I suppose.
But what this dude? Why would he care about having a baby?
I don't know. He was only.
Why
like,
are there men and women?
I don't know. That was the other thought that I
for
had.
murder?
Yeah.
Like if it's a holding state until your trial comes up, okay, but that can't be a good idea.
Yeah.
Clearly. Wow.
Yeah. There you
Those Floridians.
Like all that money we spent at fertility doctors, I could have just used yeast infection applicators and did it myself.
Well, you still need a dude.
Well, yes.
Okay.
I know that.
Okay, because you can't buy. Can you buy semen?
Well, you can go to a sperm bank.
Right, but you can't like just nip
I'm
in
sure
and
there's a Craigslist post for that somewhere.
there's an opportunity I hadn't
There you
considered.
go. Yeah, actually, remember the story I did a while ago about the was it brothers that were selling their sperm on Facebook?
Weren't they in Quebec? Yeah.
And they had like a bajillion children.
Yes.
So there you go. There's your new
right, double neck.
yeah career aspirations right there.
Hey, do you know what? I have another story.
I can't wait.
One more.
I'm ready.
This one's short.
Okay.
So this is in Durango, Colorado.
Durango.
Mm-hmm. Officers were surprised when a 911 caller reported, quote unquote, a baby kangaroo with a diaper on wandering around a major city street. Hi. So I know this is going to sound completely insane, the October 23rd 9/11 call stated. I was just downtown and I was walking home from work. There's like a baby kangaroo with a diaper on wandering down Main Street. When officers with the Durango Police Department arrived, they discovered the caller was entirely correct. There was indeed a baby kangaroo in a diaper hopping down the street and away from the police. The chase was short-lived, and the kangaroo was quickly caught without incident. The diaper indicated to the officers that the animal was likely a legal exotic pet and quickly managed to track down the owner and return the kangaroo safe and sound. Okay, so I have two thoughts about this.
Okay.
One, how the hell can it be legal to own a kangaroo?
I don't know.
Like, I appreciate, I really like animals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And yeah, I've lots of times, especially with my neighbor kids, I've thought of owning a polar bear or a Komodo dragon. But I acknowledge that I really shouldn't be allowed to, and not just for the sake of those kids.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not fair to the polar bear or Komodo dragon, right? And there's probably some other logistical concerns I'm not bringing in here at this point. But to own a kangaroo, like they're meant to hop around that little continent down South Australia.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be hopping around Durango, Colorado,
No.
wearing a diaper.
Where do you even get one?
Where do you get a diaper for a kangaroo?
Well,
I'm a big roo now.
the pull-up commercial.
I don't know.
I'm a big girl.
You're
I
right.
know exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like the pull-up.
How do you get it over its big, huge legs and feet?
I don't know, man.
I don't get it, dude.
I don't know.
But do you know what this reminded me of? Do you remember? Okay, so I'm a huge fan of like Looney Tunes, Merry Melodies. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Bugs Bunny cartoons. Mm-hmm. And I love the ones with Sylvester and his son.
Yeah.
And he's training his son to be a mouser, how to catch mice.
Right.
And the little kitten, like the son, sees the mouse and he tries to chase it and it goes inside a door. Mm-hmm. And the cat runs out scared, and Sylvester's like, son, what the hell's the matter with you? And he opens the door and there's a baby kangaroo in there hopping around, right, which looks like a mouse, and it kicks the crap out of Sylvester.
Yeah.
And the little cat is like, "Oh, father." Like, that's exactly how he says it, too.
Oh,
Because
father.
Sylvester keeps getting the holy hell beat out of him.
Right.
But all the other cat ever sees is the little mouse, is the regular mouse. That's what I thought of. This is how my brain operates these days. I'm pretty okay with it,
Yeah.
to be honest.
That's good.
So yeah, that's Kanga.
Wow.
Are those characters from a story? Kanga and Roo?
Kangaroo.
Is that Winnie the Pooh? Yeah.
Oh, I
No,
don't know.
it's something Disney though. I know I didn't dream that or make it up. Pretty sure. We'll look into it. We'll have one of our associates look into it for us.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe that should be the question.
Yes.
For the contest.
No, it is.
It is Winnie the Pooh.
Okay, hold on. Nope.
Really, eh? Yeah, because Kanga's like the mother or whatever, and I think
Yes.
Roo's like the
The
baby.
baby.
The Joey.
Yes, you're right.
What are girl baby kangaroos called? Are they called Joeys? Are they called Jillies? Jennies?
And Kanga and Roo
Jessies?
spells kangaroo.
Yeah, no, really? Wow. How did you not become a forensic detective of some kind?
I never realized that till like right now.
Do you want me to leave that in? Doesn't matter, I am. So deal with it. Yeah, so that was 5 stories. We were very generous
Look at
today.
that.
But do you know why we were generous? Because we love you.
Oh.
Yeah, anyway.
Someone's in the Christmas spirit.
No, he's absolutely friggin' not. You know what? I was at Canadian Tire the other week, which for those of you outside of Canada is like, it's like Home Depot kind of idea, right? And then I was also at Freshco, which is a grocery store chain. And I saw like young employees working, and I asked both of them, I said, on separate occasions, I said, do you ever have like near psychotic breaks from listening to Christmas music all day? And to a person, they said, yes, adamantly. And the young man at Canadian Tire, he goes, and I love Christmas, like more than most people I know. And he goes, and it's still too much.
Yeah.
I want to go on record as saying that it should be a breach of labor law to play Christmas music all damn day.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Man, when I worked for the clinics, for like the COVID clinics, and in the building we worked on, they had the local office station. I won't say who they are, but I hate them. It's like a sound a bell makes in a church tower. Does that give you enough hint?
Yeah.
And that's all they played, like from middle of November onward. And I just wanted to like someone to kill me.
Yeah.
I didn't even care how painful
Yeah.
it would have been less painful than listening to that shit. Like, I love Christmas for like 3 days around Christmas.
Yes.
I love the get-togethers.
Yep.
I love all of it, but
Yep.
not for a friggin' month.
No, it's too much.
Oh,
It's too much.
and keep the Halloween candy out longer after the 31st,
Yeah, no kidding.
so I can come and buy some. You
That's
dicks.
right.
Anyway,
You tell them.
my anger's gone now.
Okay.
Anything you would like to say to our lovely people out there?
Yeah, if you guys would don't mind, go to our website.
Even if you do mind,
If
please
you
do it.
mind, just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Go to theabsurdpodcast.ca. If you want to know where to find us, you can find our links to Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all the things.
What was my favorite one called again?
Deezer.
Yeah, Deezer.
Yeah.
I've never listened to it, but I just like the name.
Yeah, I know.
It'd be a
it's
good
cool.
name for a band.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Weezer. That's why. Never mind.
Weezer.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I like Weezer.
But yeah, go do the things.
Yes,
Listen
please
to
do.
us.
And if you have a moment, please give us a review, preferably 5-star, but, and feel free to contact us with some feedback. If there's
Please
something
do.
you'd like to hear, if there's something you don't want to hear,
Yeah.
Let
We may
us
or may
know.
not listen, but you can still tell us.
yeah, we will definitely listen. Whether we do it or not is another matter.
Yeah.
But we will absolutely read and reply to everything you send.
Yes.
you
Yes,
know?
we will.
Unless it's like you're a prince in Nigeria and we can get millions of... no, we probably won't respond to that.
Yeah. No.
I'll see how good the offer is, actually. I will send
That's
you
right.
Mel's bank account
Yeah,
information.
sure you will.
No problem. Anyway, thank you again, everyone, for coming
Yes.
and listening.
And look out for that giveaway.
Yes,
this week.
please.
It'll be coming out soon.
Watch our social.
Yes.
For that information.
Yeah.
And stay safe out there in this weather.
You bet.
And hopefully we'll see you back here again soon. So take care of yourselves and one another.
Bye.
Bye.
The Absurd Podcast is written, produced, and recorded by Rod and Mel. Music by Audionautics.com.